What is up? Welcome to episode 2 of Blood and Beer. Sorry for the delay. I've been very busy this week. I started a new job. I've been just slammed with training and orientation. Been working a little bit extra, driving like a lot early in the morning. But welcome to episode 2. We've got a lot to talk about today. I'm going to be talking about the UFC 270 and my reaction to that, and that was an awesome card, even though the lineup wasn't banging. That was an awesome card to watch. We'll talk a little bit of UFC 271, a little bit of UFC Fight Night 200, Strickland versus Hermanson, and then some other UFC news also. And then we're going to be talking about Eagle FC, Khabib's promotion, and their debut. And we'll try to find a way for you to watch that. I haven't looked that up yet, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to find you something. But that's going to be on, I want to say, tomorrow night on the 28th. And then also Bellator's on Saturday the 29th. Ryan Bader versus Moldavsky. And then it's also got Benson Henderson versus Islam Mamedov. And today's show, we're going to be drinking the Brewdog Cannon Blast, brewed for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Went and saw them last night. They looked like shit. They lost 6-0. Refs didn't help us. I had great seats. I was four rows up from the ice, so that was awesome. But god damn it, win a fucking game. Stop sucking. Hopefully this beer is better than the Blue Jackets fucking hockey team. That being said, though, let's get right into the fucking MMA news. This is Blood and Beer, where we talk blood sport and we drink beer. Let's go. UFC 270. First, I want to start by saying I'm sorry, Victor Henry and Said Nurmagomedov. I was wrong. It was not a boring fight, Said. He came out like a bat out of hell. Fucking spinning back fist, spinning kick, just striking looked on point, and then Stamen didn't want to stand there and strike with you. You took him down, choked him out quick as shit. Not much to say other than I was wrong, you're a beast, and that was not a boring fight. I look forward to seeing dude fight in the future because he is the real goddamn deal. Other people I was apologizing to, Victor Henry, who fought Barcelos. Victor Henry, it was a little rough at the beginning. I was like, oh man, this guy's going to get pieced up. No, dude's a vet and knew what the fuck to do. Stayed in there. I don't know if he got a performance bonus, but he should have, because that was his UFC debut against someone that's like 5-1 or 7-1 in the UFC, and he put it on the dude. Fucked his face up. He knew what was going on. Victor Henry, you get a drink, because that was awesome. And I look forward to seeing dude fight again. And then Michael Morales. Hold on, let me give Victor his drink. Not bad. Not a bad beer. American Pale Ale. Michael Morales, as I was saying, the prodigal son, whatever. Dude looked amazing. He had some adversity at the beginning, got taken down. Giles was going for a submission, and then goes back to the feet. Less than a minute left in the first round, and dude knocks him the fuck out. Says, "What's up? I'm here to fight." And he puts it on him. So that was awesome to see. Kudos to Morales. Dude's young. Hopefully he can keep it up because he's got a bright fucking future. Gets a knockout, and dude's a fucking judo guy. So let's go, Morales. You got a bright future, buddy. Sorry, I'm not trying to go too fast on these, but we have a lot to talk about today. UFC 270 happened like a week ago. Feel bad for being so late doing these reactions, but that's why we're going fast on these ones. And then also we had Michel Pereira versus Fialho, I think was the guy's name. Fialho put it on him in the first round. Dude looked like he knew what was up, and it was a short notice fight because Pereira's first guy pulled out, and he looked like he might have a chance at stopping him. Sorry. Looked like he had a chance at stopping him in that first round. It was never close to being stopped, don't get me wrong, but dude was putting it on him, had some crisp boxing. And then in round 2, Pereira kicked it up. When we were watching it, my fiance was just, why does he keep throwing flying knees? Because dude was jumping up in the air like a madman. I mean, Michel Pereira, you're fun as hell to watch. Lose the flying knee, because I don't think I saw you land it once. But you pieced up Fialho, and that was awesome. That was a super fun fight to watch. I was very impressed with 270, with all the people making their UFC debuts on a pay-per-view especially. A lot of what I thought were mismatches ended up being great fights. So Dana White, thank you for that. That was awesome. Now for the main events of 270. We had Figueiredo versus Moreno 3. Super exciting, super close, back and forth fight. Figueiredo got some drops. Moreno was more accurate, landed more punches. I thought Moreno won. Judges all three scored it for Figueiredo, probably because he dropped him 3 times. UFC needs to run that one back. I don't care. I'm normally not a big fan of even trilogy fights, but it needs to be Figgy versus Moreno 4, because they're the top of the division. I know that there's some beasts in there with fucking Kai Kara France and the guy he's fighting, Ankalov or something like that. But run that one back, because that's just an exciting fight. Those dudes put on a show. They have contrasting styles, and UFC could probably put that on once a year for me, and I'd be pumped, because it's going to go one or two ways each time. I mean, it's literally like a coin flip watching those two fight. That was awesome. And then Francis Ngannou. Holy shit. Sorry. Holy shit. Where did you learn to wrestle like that? Wow. Ngannou came out, and Ngannou looked like he had it under control in the first 2 rounds. He was kind of picking at him and stuff, and Francis wasn't landing a whole lot. And then Francis comes in with this power slam. Just picks him up, throws him down, gets his entire body off the ground. It was beautiful. And then not only does he throw him down, he keeps him down, landing a little bit of ground and pound in round 3. Round 4, he goes out there and kind of beats on him some more. Round 5, Cyril gets a takedown. And instead of going for ground and pound or trying to get top control, Cyril pulls a leg lock from top position, which is odd to do, because if you don't get it, then you're fucked, because you're on bottom. Cyril fucked that up, but I mean, you know, he's also only had 11 fights, and the only fight he's ever lost is a UFC title fight, so that was crazy to watch. I don't know where Ngannou got his wrestling. And what's next for these guys? I think a good fight for Cyril Gane would probably be Curtis Blades. Let's see if he can improve on his wrestling, and see if Curtis can hang with Cyril Gane. I don't know if he could. Goodness. Good fuckingness. Francis Ngannou, he was injured in that fight. He said he tore his ACL or MCL or both, and they told him that he shouldn't fight. The doctors did. He did anyways. And he wrestled like that. That was kudos, man. That was awesome. But they say he needs surgery and he could be out for 9 months. And not only that, I mean, they still don't have the contract resolved. Francis said he turned down $7 million. The UFC says they're going to be suing Francis and his manager. Francis' manager said he was threatened right before UFC 270. So there's a lot of moving parts in this. I hope they get it worked out, because Francis has shown that he's not just a knockout guy now. I mean, he's got a pretty well-rounded game. It might not be the prettiest to watch, but man, dude is there. He's there. He definitely elevated his fucking game, and he's looking good. His next fight, I'd like to first see Stipe versus John Jones, since we now know Francis is going to be out for so long. Stipe versus Jones, not an interim title fight. Just have those two duke it out. Let Stipe beat the fuck out of John Jones, because USA, Ohio, I guess John Jones is from USA. Ohio represent. Let's go Stipe. You're going to beat the fuck out of John Jones. You're going to go back. You're going to fight Francis. And I hope you win. But god damn it, Francis looks good. Let's go Stipe. Next on the agenda, we have UFC Fight Night 200. Sean Strickland versus Jack Hermanson. Jack Hermanson versus Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland, I hope he goes in there just talking shit to him, gets in his head, fucks with him. Sean Strickland's a fucking crazy person with crazy cardio, crazy good boxing, a pressure fighter. Jack Hermanson, he's got good stand-up, but he's better on the ground. He's a grappler. He got good wrestling, good jiu-jitsu. That's going to be a fun fight to watch. See if he can get his takedowns off with Strickland's pressure. See if Strickland can pressure him with the worry of takedowns. That'll be a fun back and forth affair, I think. Or Strickland's going to fuck him up and maybe stop him with just some pressure beating and maybe a third round stoppage by Strickland. Or a unanimous decision by Strickland is my pick. I'm not sure on that. The rest of the card isn't incredible. I'm not going to go over it today because we got another week before that fight card's going to happen, and hopefully something gets added in. It'd be short notice, but damn it if that card's a little weak. It's a free one though, so tune in for February 5th, UFC Fight Night 200. Goodness, I was out in the cold all day. All right, we have Robert Whittaker versus Israel Adesanya 2. Izzy's already talking shit. Rob Whittaker, he says that he's got the blueprint because Jan Blachowicz laid it out when he beat Izzy. Izzy says that Rob's going to feel my power. You don't have a blueprint on me. I just keep getting better. He doesn't seem to think Rob has much of a chance. I think Rob might pull it out, but I'm not going to be making picks today because it could really, a lot can change, my opinion, as far as that goes between now and February 12th. It's the 27th of January, for goodness sake. So who knows what the hell's going to happen, but that's going to be an amazing card. Cannot wait. I hope that fight's back and forth. I hope they both have great striking. Izzy's definitely a level above the rest, but great striking by both of those guys. And Rob has really good wrestling. Also on the card, it's got Bobby Green versus Nasrat Haqparast. It's got Derek Brunson versus Jared Cannonier. Casey O'Neal's fighting Roxanne Modafferi. And then to top all that off, that's enough to make a great card regardless. And then you got Izzy and all that on top of it. Derek Lewis versus Tai Tuivasa. Talk about a first round knockout. Are we going to see a shoey? Or are we going to see the Black Beast fucking silverback it in the ring? I mean, that's going to be a banger. I cannot wait for that. I don't want to see Derek get knocked out. I don't want to see Ty get knocked out. But if one of them were to get knocked out, I'd rather it be by the other. Two of the most exciting fighters in the sport right now. One punch knockout power by both of them. Cannot wait for that card. That's going to be beautiful to watch. It really is. Just the whole card. I mean, the fact that you can get Brunson Cannonier on there, you got Bobby Green on there, which will probably be the featured prelim. Casey O'Neal, the up-and-comer, versus Roxanne Modafferi. Casey O'Neal's super exciting to watch fight. She's a beast. And then you're putting Tai Tuivasa on there as well. I mean, just a banger. And there's a lot of other good cards fights on that card as well. It's got Kyler Phillips fighting. I think it had Dirty Bird Ed Herman on there. I mean, it's going to be a fucking blast. I'm definitely getting that pay-per-view. It's going to be beautiful. That is February 12th, and that's going to be fucking awesome. Let me know what you guys think about all this, if you're excited about this as much as I am, because that card is going to be off the fucking chain. People still say that. Off the fucking chain. I don't know. I do not know. In other UFC news, it's booked. Gaethje versus Oliveira, May 7th in Brazil. That fight is going to be awesome. Gaethje going to land a bomb. If he fights like he did with Michael Chandler, it was a great fight, but he's going to lose because Oliveira is going to choke him the fuck out. He's got to throw some fucking power shots. He's going to have to try a lot harder for the knockout. And I'm not saying he wasn't trying for the knockout, but it seemed like he was trying to fight the smart fight. Chandler was trying to fight the fun fight. So he's going to have to change some things up because Oliveira can take some damage. He might get rattled in there, but he comes out and he wears you down and he fucks you up. Dude is an animal. He's a champ's champ. He beat Dustin. He beat Chandler. And he's going to beat Gaethje, I think. Also on that fucking card, we have Yuri Prochazka versus Glover Teixeira. I mean, what? That's going to be fucking awesome. It's so far away, so that sucks. But May 7th is going to be beautiful. I might need to go down to Brazil. I mean, I'm going to have to get a passport or something because I don't want to miss that. That's going to be amazing to see. I don't even know the other fights on the card yet, but those two right there are enough to make me get tickets to Brazil, a passport, risk getting quarantined down there because of the COVID, and it'd be all worth it if I got to see Oliveira go down there and just throw out some crazy submission because the dude's the best submission artist. And then Glover versus Yuri. I mean, Yuri is a fucking kung fu panda, except he's not a panda. He's a fucking freak of nature. Dude is fast and keeps his hands down and he just clocks dudes. That's going to be a fun fucking fight because Glover's just been old man strength in these dudes. He's like 43 or 44, I think. And he's just like, I'm going to walk through your hardest punch. I'm going to grab onto you, take you down, and fuck you up. And that's what he's been doing. I mean, Glover has been on a tear. And I was so happy to see him win the belt when he did. I love Jan Blachowicz. He's super awesome to watch fight. But Glover, I mean, to be that old and that dominant, it's awesome. Especially at, 205. Any weight class. But 205's got some young beasts in there. And he's been in there with Anthony Smith, beat him. I think he fought Thiago Santos. I'm not sure if he fought Santos, but he beat Anthony Smith. He beat Jan Blachowicz. I'll have to look up the other people he beat on this streak that he's on, but he's been on a fucking tear, fucking dudes up. So that card is going to be fucking beautiful when it happens. I can't wait. UFC's also talking about they said it's not signed yet, but talking about Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chandler. I don't know how excited I am about that. I hope the old Ferguson comes back. That's a weird matchup. Ferguson's chin and awkwardness, Chandler's just willingness to go forward, do damage and take damage without care, reckless abandonment. I love Michael Chandler's fight style. I love Tony Ferguson. Changed my mind already. I am super excited for that fight if it happens. Bring back Tony. Have him fight Mike. Great fight. The fans win. There's no loser in that fight unless... I don't want to see Tony drop a fourth, but I don't want to see Chandler drop a third. Make it happen, UFC. Make it happen. Oh, man, sorry about that. Jeremy Stevens, the hardest hitting 145er or 155er in the game. Who the fuck is that guy? Yes, he's been cut from the UFC, or they parted ways. Hate to see him go, but he was on a bit of a skid, and I mean, dude was a beast when he was in there. He was definitely a journeyman fighter. He's not a low-level guy. He's not really a gatekeeper because he gets beat by these young guys, and he's not the top-level guy. He's just somebody that needs to find another promotion or retire. Because I don't think he's done. I just don't think he can compete at the UFC's level anymore, and that's probably why they cut him. And then last few things, UFC booked Vicente Luque versus Bilal. Remember the fucking name Muhammad. For their second fight. Luque knocked him out in the first fight. I think it was a first round knockout. Bilal's on like a 10-fight win streak or a 10-fight unbeaten streak. Vicente Luque's tapped out. Tyron Woodley tapped out Michael Chiesa. He's been killing it. It'll be a fun fight when that happens. I'm not sure the date on that. I'll have to look that up. But that's going to be an awesome card to see. Also, we have Paddy the Body Pimblett he got a card or a fight booked against some nobody, but he's going to be fighting in UFC London. So is Dan the Hangman Hooker. He's fighting Arnold Allen, who's on an 8-fight unbeaten streak. Before we move on, Dan Hooker, I don't know if anybody's been seeing the posts that have been on like MMA Junkie and all this stuff. Last guys that he fought Michael Chandler, who's been killing it in the UFC. He fought Islam Makhachev, who's been fucking killing it. Nasrat Haqparast, who is 5-1 in his last 6. He fought Paul Felder, who's like, he was killing it really. I mean, dude's a beast. And Dan Hooker turns down no fights. He fought Dustin Poirier, for God's sake. I mean, dude turns down no fights. And other than the Makhachev fight, they're all interesting fights. So I'm pumped to see Dan Hooker come back versus Arnold Allen. I think that's also going to be at the UFC London card, but I'm not sure. That'll be awesome. I'm going to finish this off, and then we're going to go ahead and move on and say enough with the UFC talk. At least for now, unless something else comes into my brain. But one sec. By the way, this is a pretty good beer. Pretty good beer. I would recommend it. Normally I'm not a big fan of ales, but this ale passes the test. I also had some pretty good ales at this Pour Your Own bar after we left the game last night. Jackets got their ass kicked, but Pour Your Own bar, they had this like lemon hazy ale, and it was fucking delicious. They had one called Pineapple Ass Eaters. It was delicious. They had some really good beers at this Pour Your Own tap bar. It was the weirdest thing I ever seen. They give you this wristband, and you just walk up an entire wall of taps. You walk up, put your wristband up to the tap, and then it starts pouring, and it charges you like 53 cents or however much that beer costs, and that's per ounce. So however much you pour in your cup, that's how much you end up paying when you leave. It's a really cool concept. I liked it. Sorry, got off topic. It was an awesome bar though. Khabib. Eagle FC, the USA debut. First, I want to say I really like what Khabib's doing with his promotion. They're signing some big names, not huge names, but for a promotion that's not Bellator 1 and UFC or PFL, signing some big names, and it's awesome to see. And then we have on the card for this weekend, it's Tyron Spong versus who's he fighting? Sergey Karatov. Sorry about that. I'm not familiar with all of them because a lot of them are from Russia and other places. So I'm only going to talk about the top 3 fights that I know about. Maybe I'll talk about Yorgan De Castro a little bit. Hopefully he has a good showing. But first, Rashad Evans. He's in the co-main event versus a guy named Checo. I know nothing about Checo. I know Rashad Evans had a pretty rough ending with the UFC. I hope he doesn't go out there and just get knocked the fuck out because Rashad Evans is a beast and a legend. But, I mean, he's getting up there in age, and there's only so much you can do. I mean, I don't want to be the young guy that's like, yeah, old people get knocked the fuck out. You just heard me talking about Glover. I hope he wins. I hope Rashad wins, but I don't know if he can unless he's got a really strong wrestling game to bring to this fight, because I don't think he wants to stand up for 3 rounds just because that chin's not there anymore. We saw it at the end of the UFC run. I don't think it comes back once you get to a certain age. And when you're well off like him, I don't think you have the drive to be a champion. That's why he's fighting in Eagle FC. No offense to anybody fighting in Eagle FC. It's just that's not like one of those promotions that's respected. If he wanted to be a champion, he'd probably go somewhere like Bellator and think that he has a chance. And it's smart that he doesn't, because I don't think he's beaten Nemkov. I don't think he's beaten Anderson. I don't think he's beaten Bader. I don't think he's beaten Machida even again. It's Phil Davis, Yoel Romero, they're all bad matchups for him. So I think he's just kind of taking this fight to see where he's at. I hope it turns out well for him, but I don't think it will. I'm going to have to take this Checo guy that I know nothing about. Should have done some research probably, but Checo for the win. And I'm pretty sure that's on some weird Florida streaming service, so check out sportsurge.net. Just kidding. Don't do that. Don't stream it without paying for it or without being a subscriber. Just kidding. Also, Ray Borg versus Corey Gibson. I used to box with a kid named Corey Gibson. I wonder if it's the same one. Doubt it. But Ray Borg says he has a renewed focus, a dangerous focus for fighting. Yeah, he had a decent run in the UFC. Ray Borg, good fighter. If he is refocused and ready to go, that'll be a fun one. I'm excited to watch this card tomorrow. I don't work, so I'm going to be getting bloody and covered in beer. But that'll be a fun one to watch. I hope Ray Borg wins it, but again, I mean, Khabib knows these people that he's got signed already, and I think that he probably wants to promote these guys up through, so he's probably matching these known names up with these nobodies, and the nobodies are going to end up pulling it off because he needs them to do it, to get a name, to get just some hype behind his promotion. I'm hyped about it, but only MMA fans, MMA junkies are. People that casually watch it aren't super pumped about Eagle FC yet because it's just not mainstream quite yet. And then we have combat sport, or I should say blood sport, since we're talking blood sports, not combat sports. Blood sport standout Tyrone Spong. Dude is fighting Sergey Karatov. I don't know anything about Karatov, but I know Spong is just a beast. He's a beast, and dude can fight. He offered to train Ngannou to fight Tyson Fury. I don't know if that would go too well because you can't find anyone better than Tyson Fury to fight Tyson Fury. It's just, but dude can box. He can do MMA. That'll be a fun fight to watch. I hope. I want to see Tyrone Spong just get a nice clean KO. I want to see something filthy, something that goes viral for Khabib's card or Khabib's show, because I'm not a big Khabib fan. I'm not a hater, not a big Conor fan. It's just kind of like either way for me. But I'd like to see the promotion do good because I love when these MMA fighters retire and they start their own promotion, like what Gamebred's doing, what Anthony Pettis is doing. Even if they're not the biggest thing, like I'd like to see him succeed because that's the whole goal, is to retire and become a well-off businessman where eventually your money's being made for you. You don't have to do shit. And Khabib's got the right idea. I mean, signing Kevin Lee was awesome. That was an awesome move by Khabib. So I am pumped for that card. And then finally, last topic of conversation that I have planned out and everything, we have Bellator 273, Ryan Bader versus Valentin Moldavsky. Benson Henderson versus Islam Mamadev. And then Homasi is fighting somebody also. Bellator gets all the washed guys. Bader was not washed when he went to Bellator, but Bader has been fighting at light heavyweight and been getting knocked out at light heavyweight. Nemkov caught him with a kick. Corey Anderson caught him with a couple punches. I don't want to see Bader lose. I'd like to see him win, but Moldavsky's bigger. He's a natural heavyweight. Bader's not. Bader's chin doesn't seem like it's there anymore. Bader was talking about fighting Fedor this week and how he didn't want to do it, which kudos to him, but why even entertain that? Stop talking about other fights. I hate when fighters start looking ahead, because Giga, perfect example. Giga did it and just looked ahead, and then he got beat by Calvin Kattar. I don't think that's why he got beat, but don't look ahead, because then you look like a fucking idiot when you lose. I don't know. I'm not sleeping on Bader because he's a beast. He's got great wrestling. but Moldavsky also has great wrestling. He's probably a lot stronger than Bader because he hasn't been cutting weight. And Bader, like 6 months ago, he fought at light heavyweight. I don't know. I'm saying Moldavsky takes it, and then the rest of the card sucks pretty much, other than Benson Henderson versus Islam Mamedov. Benson Henderson went to the guys at Bellator, and he said, "What's the quickest way for me to get back to title contention? Because I know 3-fight skid doesn't look good, but I think I'm the best fighter in the world at light heavyweight, or lightweight, sorry, 155." And Islam Mamedov's name came up. Islam Mamedov's on like a 20-fight win streak, or unbeaten streak. He's 21-1. He lost his second fight, and that was it. Since then, he's been kicking ass. Benson doesn't seem like he has that drive, or the spark. I don't want to say drive, because he still comes in shape. He still comes in ready to fight. He just doesn't seem like he has that spark. And he's always been slow start, but it's just, now it's not enough. And you're fighting these wrestlers these Dagestani or wherever Mamedov's from. I'm sure he trains with a lot of these Russians that do the sambo, that they hold you, they drown you, they're a fucking beast. And now a lot of them are getting great striking. Mamedov, I'm sure he's never fought someone like Benson Henderson, but Benson's getting up there in age, and at lightweight you can only do so much. I mean, you need to be athletic on your toes and on the top of your game, and I just don't know if Benson has it. So I'm picking Mamedov in this fight. I don't want to, but it's going to be Moldavsky versus Mamedov. Not versus. God damn it. God damn it. Moldavsky and Mamedov, taking him the wins. Again, I'd like to see the Americans win, but I just don't see it happening. Let me know what you think, what you're excited for, anything I missed that has been talked about this week. I'm super pumped for UFC Fight Night in Columbus, because I am from Ohio. I live near Columbus, and they're putting some fucking fights on that card. They got Neil Magny on there versus Max Griffin. That'll be a banger. They got Jan Blachowicz versus Rakic. I'm pretty sure Matt Brown's on the card. It's going to be fucking awesome. So, any of my friends watching that want to go, I'm getting a ticket. I don't know if I'll be able to make it with my work schedule. But if you want to go, me and a couple other friends, we're getting tickets. Let me know. Also, let me know what you think in the comments. Leave me a like if you like the video. Please subscribe. And really just tell me that I'm a fucking idiot if you disagree. Tell me that you don't fuck with my ideas, or tell me you do agree. What do you think's gonna happen this weekend with the cards, or UFC 271, UFC Fight Night 200? What are your thoughts? Let me know. I want to know, and I want to respond to some of these comments if I get some in the next video. Let's go. Blood, beer, everything.